Let's talk about how to solve systems of equations. I have a system here, and the system consists of two linear equations, and I want to know which ordered pair is the answer. With a couple of ways you can do this. If you take the x value and put it in the x spot of both equations, take the y value and see if the y value comes out to be what the point says. So here, sorry, I pointed to this as if it was x, but this is the y, and then this was the x. And in this problem, this was the x. So the x is 5, and then the y is 10. So it's 5 minus 2, 3, yes. And it's 17 minus 12, 5, yes. It works for both. That means this is the solution. You can also use menu 3-2 to get to the answer. I'm going to show you what menu 3-2 looks like on number 2. You can use it to check your work. So I'm going to add a calculator, go to menu, go down to algebra because we're in algebra, and then go down to 2 because it says system. And I want my letters to say x and y, and then I plug in the top equation just the way it is, equals x plus 5, and then 2y minus x equals 13. Press enter and it gives me 3, 8, which is D. To do number 3, you can do the same thing. You can plug in each x and y or use menu 3-2 to get your answer. Moving on to number 4. The perimeter of a rectangle deck is 175. That means P is 175. So 2L plus 2W is 175. How do you know that 2L plus 2W is 175? Well, it says the perimeter of a rectangle is 2L plus 2W. And it says it right there because you have 2 lengths and 2 widths on a rectangle, and if you're adding all the sides, 2L plus 2W replaces P. So 2L plus 2W equals 175. Now we read the next one. The next sentence says the length of the deck, L, is equals 6 feet longer, so plus 2 times the width. So that means L is 6 plus 2W. Now, because of the word than, I switch the order of those two, and I'm left with L equals 2W plus 6. But when I look at A, B, and C, D, my answer choices, I notice that I have minus signs. So that means the 2W needs to come over and become minus 2W, or the 6 needs to come over and become minus 6. I don't know. So I write my 2 possible choices down, and we look. Is that what I have? It's not A. No. Is L equal to 2W minus 6 an option? No. Is L equals 6 minus 2W? No. What about L minus 6 equals 2W? Yes, the answer is D. And we move on. Number 5. The Mendez family is going to see a play, and the adult tickets are $9, so 9A. The child tickets are $6, so 6C, because I'm going to, it's going to cost $6 for every child ticket. I have a total of 6 people. That's a total, so that means it's going to go at the end of the equation like it is here. 48 is also a total, which is how much they're going to spend on the tickets. So based on what we've set so far, we know that 9A plus 6C needs to equal 48. So that eliminates C and D. Now the question is it A or B? Well, which system of equations can be solved to determine A, the number of adult tickets, and C, the number of child tickets? Well, how many people were there in all? 6. So if you add them together, the answer would equal 6. So the answer is A. Number 6. Which system of equations does not have a solution? I'm looking for parallel lines. So I'm going to show you something I've never shown you before, and that is how to graph number 6 in the calculator while it is in standard form. So we're going to try answer choice A. Control Dock, go to the graphing screen. The code is menu 3 because I'm talking about a graph I need to enter. and it is an equation that is a line, and I want to put it in this form. So that code is menu 3213. And now I enter 6, -7, and 5. Enter. I hit tab again and I enter in the second one, 12, -14, and 10. And press enter again, and the line goes right on top of it. That means that this is infinite solutions. But that's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for no solution. So I'm going to do a new graph and try these two. And so I type menu 3, 2, 1, 3. And now it's 12, -14, -10. Okay, now we have to do 12, -14, -10. Oh, okay, I skipped the top one, didn't I? So let me type that in, 6, -7, and 5. And when I do that, what do I have? Two lines that are what? Parallel. So there's my no solution. On number 7, it's asking for infinitely many. So I'm going to use a different way of finding the answer this time. And we're going to go to the calculator screen and use the famous menu 3-2. Well, we already know what one solution looks like, and one solution is what A gives you, so I'm going to show you B. 6x plus 3y equals 6. 4x minus 2y equals 9. And what does it give me? Well, I said no solution, so did I type it in right? No, that says a minus sign, and I typed in a plus sign. So I don't want to have to do this all over again. That's what one solution looks like. It actually gives you numbers. Okay, so I'm going to go arrow up twice, and I'm going to go in there, and I pressed enter, and it brought it down. I'm going to change that to a minus sign. Let me check it this time before I press enter. Okay, and when it's no solution, it says no solution found. And that is not what this question is asking for. It's asking for infinite. So I try C. And if you want to arrow up, highlight it, and press enter and bring it down, you can. And just adjust. So the top one says 6x minus 3y equals 9. And the bottom one says 4x minus 2y equals 6. I press enter. And whenever you have the C's in your answer, that means infinite solutions. So the answer is C. So again, this is what infinite solutions looks like. Okay, so now we are on, that was number 7. Let's go to number 8. On number 8, I am talking with Greta, and she has a system of equations graphed, and she wrote her results in a table. Okay? It wants to know what can she conclude. Well, what you need to know about this problem, whenever you have a system and there is one solution, they have the same x and same y. And right here, both of these equations share -1, and they both share -2 as a y value. So it is not that the solution is -2, -2. No, that's the y value they both have in common. So they both have in common a y of -2 and an x of -1, meaning the answer is B. You could have also plugged in this equation and that equation into menu 3-2 and got the answer as -1, -2 is the solution. On number 9, I'm going to do this one by hand and then let you do menu 3-2 for the next one, because we need to practice looking at the graph. Well, the y-intercept is 0, so I need to find a y-intercept that is 0. And there is a y-intercept of 0, and there is a y-intercept of 0. But I don't see a y-intercept of 0 for C or D. So those are wrong, because C, the y-intercept is here and here. D, the y-intercept is here and here. And that's not at 0. So it has to be A or B. Now the slope says go down 1 and to the right 2. So that negative goes up, and it only belongs to one of the numbers. So I'm going here, and this one goes up 1 and to the right 2. So that's +1/2. I need -1/2. Well, that one goes down and then right. So this is -1/2 slope. All right. I think I need to close my door. My children are talking, and open the door. Give me a moment. Sorry. Okay, that's what happens when you record at home and you have a 2-year-old and a 3-year-old. Anyway, sorry about that. So this one has negative 1/2 x plus 0. That is the equation of this line. So now we do the next one, and it says y-intercept has to be negative 3, and that is 1, 2, negative 3. Awesome. Go down negative 2 and over 1. So down 2 and to the right 1. So I should have said down 2 and right 1, not down negative 2. Sorry about that. So down 2 and right 1. So that's this line. So the answer would be B. Now, could you have done menu 3-2 for both of these equations and seen that it crosses at negative 2, positive 1? Yes, you could have, because that is their solution, which is what we're going to do for number 10. Now, I can take number 10, which says y equals 3x minus 3, and 2y equals x plus 4, and I can use menu 3-2 just like that. Or I can divide that 2 off and get 1/2 x plus 2 and y equals 3x minus 3, and put both of those in the graphing screen, and it will give me A as my answer. The problem is you cannot type this in the graphing screen and just forget the 2. You have to divide off the 2 to the other side and change the problem to this before you can put it in the graphing screen. So you can either put these 2 in the graphing screen or these 2 just the way it is in menu 3-2. No matter which way you do it, if you do it correctly, A is still the answer with the solution of 2, 3. Okay, let's get to the hard stuff. That was number 10. Let's talk about numbers 11 through 16. Those are the word problems. Okay, so we're at a food store and we have some cashews that cost $5 per pound. So this is going to be 5C because it's $5 for each cashew or per pound. And the pecans are going to cost $7 per pound. So that's 7 times P. Now I do know that Julian had to buy 3 pounds total. So I can already tell you that C plus P is going to equal 3 because that's the total. Well, you see how this equals 19? That's the total amount that it costs to buy those 3 pounds. Now on your paper it says 9, it should say 19, sorry. And then the last thing it says how many pounds each for the cashews and the pecans were in the mix. Well, once you have your 2 equations, then you do menu 3-2. When you do menu 3-2, it says that CP is the way you set it up, hopefully, and the first number was 1, the second number was 2, meaning the answer is C. So for those that need to see menu 3-2 and changing the letters, let me show this one time and then we'll move on. 3, 2, and I'm going to change this to C, and then I'm going to change this to P. I just don't want the video to be too long. And then we do 5C plus 7P equals 19, and then C plus P equals 3. We press enter. 1, 2 represents CP. And that's it. Number 12, let's set up the equations. 5 rows of color film, 5C, and 4 rows of black film, 4B, equals 24. Why does it equal 24? It says that the total cost was 24. And that is how much Clarence bought and paid for 5 rows of color film and 4 rows of black film. Then it says that the black and white film costs $1.50 more than the color film. So the black and white equals 1.5 plus C. When you put these 2 into menu 3-2, you get $2 as the answer because it says how much does 1 roll of color film cost. So you're looking for C, and C is 2 in this problem. The black and white was 3.5. Let's do number 13. The number of cell phones sold was 4 more than twice the number of iPads. So the number of cell phones, C, was, so is, equals 4 more than, so plus twice means you have to multiply it by something. And what are we multiplying by? iPads. Okay? Because of the word then, I'm going to switch 2i and 4. So that gives me 2i plus 4 equals C. The last thing it says is the store sold a total, excuse me, of 52 cell phones and iPads. So we're going to add the cell phones and iPads together to get 52. Put that in menu 3 too, and then you can figure out how many cell phones and iPads were sold. And both answers are mostly shown in systems. So the answer would be 16, because if you put C first and then I second, the 16 would have been in the I spot. Or even if you put I first, whatever is in the I spot, meaning iPads, is your answer. Let's do number 14. The total cost of the calculators and books is $792. So you should get that C plus B is $792. Now, 3 more calculators than books. So we take the 3 in the books, we put it together, and it's set it equal to the total, which is in the middle, because more calculators is what you have more of, so that's your total. So C, the calculators, what's in the middle, equals the outsides, 3 plus B. Now, it says that the calculators cost $44 and the books cost 88 cents. So I need to put that in the equations with the money. So that needs to go there. 44 for the calculators, $88 for the books. And now we have our equations. So you use menu 3-2, you get to your answer, and you look in the C spot. What does the C say? Well, it doesn't say 80. Can one say that 80 calculators is a reasonable amount? And the answer would be no, because this number did not say 80. 2 more questions. At a barbecue, there are 10 more pork chops than hamburgers. Do you know how to write that? Well, more pork chops is your total, so P equals 10 plus hamburgers. I forgot my plus sign. Sorry. Each hamburger patty costs 30 cents. So you're going to put 0.30H. And each pork chop costs 20 cents. And this is the patty we're paying for, 20 cents P. And you spend a total of $13, so equals 13. It didn't ask for the number of pork chops or hamburger patties that you had, but we do know these are the 2 equations, and that's what it wanted you to do, was write the system. Last problem. There are 9 books stacked on a shelf. The thickness of each book is 1 inch or 2 inches. So, before we go any further, 9 books is a total. And I know that I'm going to talk about 1-inch books and 2-inch books. Okay? Let's keep reading. The thickness of each book, let me move that out of the way. The thickness of each book is either 1 inch or 2 inches. And the height of the stack of 9 books is 14 inches. Uh-oh. I already used 9, but I have used 14. What do you think 14 is? That's another total. The question says, write the system and use S to determine the number of 1-inch books. And Y is going to be the number of 2-inch books. So if I want to add up how many books I have, I'm going to say my 1-inch books plus my 2-inch books, because this is talking about the number of books. Well, now I want to talk about the inches. And how do I describe the inches? Well, I have 1-inch books and 2-inch. And that's the final answer. That concludes this video. Thank you for watching.